It's been well over 12 months now since my last video, but I've been working on a few interesting projects over the last few weeks, and so I thought I'd make a couple of videos and share how they're going. I've got a bit of an interest in lighting projects at the moment. Not quite sure why, but my interests tend to go through phases, so I'm going with it. I'm working on a couple of basic projects, and this being one of them. The idea is it's just a tall, kind of long, light column. It's kind of perfectly white on the outside, or when it's off it should be perfectly white, but the front will glow a solid colour. And so I built a basic MDF frame, a cheap kind of LED strip inside, and I'm just close to finishing off with a frosted kind of acrylic front. So this piece is made in two halves. I can use some cheap kind of MDF offcuts for this, so I didn't have a piece long enough, so basically I made two sections and joined them. These panels are kind of 10 centimetres wide. I think it's about 80, 90 centimetres long, something like that. And I just used a little bit of kind of cross bracing inside, and then the two sections here, they're just kind of joined together and glued. And so that's pretty much it as far as the frame goes. I was going to back it, but I don't think there's any need for that, certainly not if it's going to hang against a wall. And so as for the lighting inside, I've used an LED strip. This is just the cheapest kind of remote controlled LED strip I could find on Amazon. It uses a remote control like this. There's a little kind of control box and IR receiver which will plug in, but it means I don't need to worry about the electronics. I don't need to write any software or do any coding. It's just done already. I need to cover this in acrylic, but it's 170 centimetres long, which is just a bit outside the range of a normal sheet of acrylic. So what I'm going to go for instead is a lot of smaller sections. So I've ordered two cheap pieces of acrylic on eBay. I was hoping I could kind of cut them down into 3 strips each, but they're just short of 30 centimetres wide. So unfortunately it's not going to fly. So I'm going to cut it into strips this way. And you get 4 strips out of each piece, and that should be plenty to cover the length. Unfortunately, I completely forgot what I was supposed to be doing and ended up cutting the first sheet lengthways rather than widthways. So I've now got a kind of a lot of kind of half and half really, but it seems to, it's still enough anyway, and it should do the job. What I may end up doing is trimming down the two long pieces to the same width or same length as the smaller ones. That way the seams are going to be at regular intervals. Plastic will then be kind of glued down to the edge. I'm just going to use silicone for that. It's the best thing to kind of stick it on, I think. The other thing I did beforehand, before kind of painting this up, was to put a 45-degree angle on the edge of the MDF here. This reduces the kind of glowing area, but it also reduces the dark area that no light will shine through. And it should be more visible when I can get this on and get it powered up. This has come together really nicely. It didn't kind of take much effort, it didn't take much time to put this together. Just a bit of kind of waiting while paint and glue dried, but other than that, it's not bad. The silicone still isn't dry yet. I'm going to have to wait for that to set. Probably kind of come back and finish it off tomorrow. But the kind of surface needs to be cleaned up a little bit, just cleaning off some of the excess silicone which seeped around. The box is already kind of painted up. The edge is pretty neat, or neat enough anyway. Going to put a hook on the back to hang it, and that'll be it.